Standards. What are standards? What do you stand for? What are you telling the world about yourself? When people see you, what's their first impression of you? Are you a Christian? Are you Muslim? Are you Jewish? Are you black, white, gay, straight, transvestite? What are you? What is your identity? What's your purpose in life? So a lot of you guys that's been following me on my Instagram and social media page have always asked me the question, how did I get out of a slump? How did I get out of being on welfare? How did I change my life from being an alcoholic, smoking marijuana, and spending time just going out to clubs and spending money on things and got nothing in return, being in relationships that didn't serve my mental or physical health? What happened? How did Delilah change? How did she become so proactive and change? How did she get up and really make it happen? How did she do that? Is Delilah any different from me? What does she have that I don't have? What are the celebrities? Because a lot of you guys sit around and you're waiting for an excuse not to do the work. Well, let me help you with that. What Delilah did was get up off her ass and do the work. That's what she did. She got up. She went and seek counsel as far as therapy. She went and got some help. She hired a trainer. She hired a business coach. She went on retreats. She invested in herself. That's the difference between a winner and a loser. Somebody who doesn't invest in themselves, but they have such high expectations, and also they feel a victim, and they think that somebody in the world owes them something. It's a welfare mentality. Why I can say that is because I grew up on welfare. I watched people who sat around waiting for a check, waiting for the government to provide clothing, shelter, and food for them. Even men being on welfare, waiting for the government to give them a check. And this is the problem that we're having with the health. People who have a welfare mentality and is not willing. It's not that they're not capable. They're not willing to do the work because somebody owes them something. So they're going to wait for that person to give them what they feel that they're owed. So they're going to spend their whole life anticipating and waiting for someone to give them something. I've watched good people die, never living their fullest potential, overweight. I grew up in the church. I've watched people who have hypertension, who have diabetes where their feet burst because of the sugar. I've watched people who are okay with putting on the weight and saying, oh girl, you're just big boned. That's just your genetics. I get it. Excuses. And what we're living in a world of excuses where people are going to pat each other on the back and give each other a pass because toxicity embraces toxicity. Nobody wants to change. You know why nobody wants to change? Because it's difficult to change. It's challenging. You got to get out of your comfort zone. So eating your emotions is just another way of making excuses why you're not living your greatest life and constantly making excuses. So what is Delilah Fitness about? Delilah Fitness is someone who believes in humanity, someone that believes in you, someone that is in a position to help you live your best and healthiest life. Once you make one step and you take care of your health, other things will fall into place. It just takes that one step of investing in yourself. So Delilah Fitness is part of the solution. She's not part of the problem. And she's real. She's somebody that will speak her mind regardless of who's in the room. She's not trying to impress anybody. She's being her. And a lot of people don't even know who they are. And they're too scared to live in their purpose because they're afraid of fear. They're afraid of success. They're afraid of imposter syndrome. They're afraid of abandonment issues, being abandoned. And fear is false existence appearing real. So Delilah Fitness is all about solutions and all about helping those people who are open and willing to do the work. Delilah Fitness is not for people who are going to sit around and make excuses why their life is the way it is, and basically blame the government for doing something to them. They're a victim, the victim mentality, which is the worst thing in the world. If you're playing the role of a victim, you're playing it small. And they're using that as your crutch. And those people who support victims are enablers. So with my program, as far as being a fitness instructor, is to help people get their life back. Once you get your life back and you feel good about yourself, because you can't help somebody unless you help yourself first. If you're not in healthy shape, you are not qualified to help somebody else get in healthy shape. So the point that I'm making is take care of yourself. Be an example to the next generation and to yourself. Be a loving, healthy husband. Be a loving and healthy wife. Obesity is a crime. And a lot of you know that you're overweight and obese, and you refuse to do anything about it. You do the bare minimum, if anything, and then you think you did something. 2024 is coming up, and if you're choosing to make these excuses, so be it. But just be honest that you're making a choice to be unhealthy, instead of saying that it's your genetics and all this other stuff. Granted, people have hormone issues, but 70% of the population in the United States, adults, are overweight. 40% of the population of children under 14, 40% are overweight, which leads to diabetes, hypertension, even cancer. So with my program, and what I offer is online coaching. I also offer workshops, food prep workshops for 30 days, 7 days. So you do have people out here that are willing and qualified to help you. It's not impossible to invest in yourself. You just don't want to. So I just wanted to make that clear, what Delilah Fitness is, and her audience, the people that she works with. I work with people who want change, who are willing to put the work in and not just talk about it and make excuses why the world is picking on them, and use your race, your sexuality as an excuse why you're not doing the work. So be it. For those people who are interested in transformation and want to put the work in, you can DM me, or you can go to my website, Delilah Fitness Online Coaching, and let's get started.